This week has been pretty action oriented. Like I said, I want to take massive actions. But some of the actions I was taking was unintentional and it was a bit of a waste. So now it's time to bring myself back to the center and not just take massive action. Just take right action. And the right action doesn't mean that you're always right, but you're always taking an honest, intentional step forward or backwards. Because sometimes you need to step backwards to make sure you're going in the right direction. This week I neglected a lot of my self-care, and I usually dedicate too much time to my self-care. So now it's time to really dive into that and really get methodical about my self-care. It's usually spontaneous as I go. And if I'm not taking care of myself, the ability to refocus myself, get a broad lens and relax and have a higher perspective. Reminding myself that I'm a spirit, I'm a human that's doing art. And knowing the hierarchy of who I am first, and then go into more solid grounds, as in making something more tangible, a product, marketing myself, branding, all these different things, what it means to be a content creator, doing all these different things. Balancing the forces. And I believe balance comes naturally. Balancing these things. I'm thinking now, as we live, right? Life is all teaching us the same lessons through every medium it can. And some mediums, these lessons are more obvious. And some lessons are meant for some people that you can catch on the side. But there's tons of information out there just right in this very moment. There's so many things that you can speculate. But based on our perspective and who we are and what we need in this life, some things are highlighted. Everything that you're seeing is highlighted because of I don't know what. I don't know why. But as I started to listen to the lessons of this life with soft eyes and also hard eyes, depending on what kind of eyes it needs, I see more miracles in my life happen. Because if I'm listening to life, myself, and just the information that's around me, that means I'm trusting where the information is going to lead me. I'm giving it a chance. I'm giving the life a chance to unveil itself. So I'm going to relax more. Next is my current inspiration right now. My current inspiration right now is to finally come together, become whole, become complete, bring all the mental faculties together. And it doesn't matter what pace this happens, what pace of my life this happens. I need to become completely myself. I want to become completely myself for this project. And when I say completely myself, the capacity to be balanced in life is what is complete for me. this week I've been doing transcriptions and I didn't realize these can actually be pretty easy. Transcriptions can be pretty easy. And once you get the first few steps in, it gets easier and easier. And this is something I've neglected for since 2016, just never really doing it because I've always leaned to one end. In this life, I've been noticing even my body is telling me things that can help me with my life. But it requires me to, again, intentionally step back and see what's going on, refocus. Why are you doing it this one way? There's so many ways you can do this one thing. Why are you doing this one way? Take a step back, relax. Widen your vision. My body's been telling me that I am not balanced right now. I'm losing stability easily, tripping over nothing. Like I would stumble easily. And I've heard that as you get older, your balance gets a little weak. You have to work at that. And I'm seeing that. And maybe that's a sign of work-life balance. I've noticed that not just one faculty of my body is the culprit of my loss of balance physically. There's many culprits, but maybe I can pinpoint one. But I think just touching at each point at this point is the key. And I've noticed that one of the major problems of my balance is that my lower back is was weak and blocked and hurt, and I fixed that. My hips were a bit stifled and stiff, and I'm still working at that, but they're doing a lot better now. And that my toes aren't that flexible, and also my pinky toes aren't that strong as they could be. And I realized how much importance display of your feet is for balance. Maybe I can get some sandals or something like that. It can help me with my balance a little bit more. But I think it's just a symptom of something more pointing to the whole of how I'm dealing with life. So what I want right now is to pull all the pieces together in a non-clever way. Just recap on the past 6 years, 7 years, 6 or 7 years I've been making music, and pull together a manifesto for myself to keep me inspired, to give me some guidance, and to share with the world if some people can dig it, can feel it. To share the manifestos, the key moments of my life and my artistry so far. And this can be something I can revisit. Sometimes it's scary to give all your tricks out in one go, but I can't be scared like that. There's so much more in my life that I can show. There's so much stories that are yet to be made that I can continue to make. I don't have to hold back any of these things. So, talking about my feet being not flexible, or my weak pinky toes. This shows me that I haven't been considering working on my weaknesses until recently, because lately my balance has been really good, but prior to this it was terrible. Like, it was like, oh, I need to really do something about this before I hurt myself somehow. But now it's a lot better. So now it's like it's like you can work at your weaknesses, right? And not be obsessed with them to the point where you neglect your strengths, which is your best weapons. I think I spent so much time clinging to my strengths that I didn't get that balance in that direction. And my weaknesses is being a little bit more left brain. And that's a little bit full circle, because that's what I think transcription is a bit left brain. Not to say that left brain doesn't mean that you're left brain. I think left brain has creative abilities as well. But the left brain is analytical, is making sense out of things, it's piecing things together, it's rationalizing things, making things linear. And sometimes that interrupts with the creative process and makes you analyze too much. Like, instead of just putting it out there. So a left brain creativity is there to help you sharpen your toolkit. Like, what exactly are you trying to say? And to me, that right brain creativity is kind of like just awareness of your heart and releasing that. Awareness of your soul and releasing that. I neglected my left side of my I'm just saying right and left, yin and yang. Just think of whatever term you can think of. Just think of it as any entity, or people or things. Think of any abstract, real thing that I'm dealing with and that everyone deals with. So I don't know anything about neuroscience like that to say if left and right brain stuff is still accurate to this day. But I know that it points to something that we can work with. I think I neglected a lot of my left brain side. It's because I was discouraged. I accepted discouragement when I would use those faculties, or I neglected those. I did some things that made me think I couldn't do these things otherwise, or let me restart. Growing up, with all respect to my mom, love and support, we pass down our systems of doing things to people without even realizing it. As you listen to me, you get influenced, and some things get enabled, and some things get disabled, depending on how far suggestible I am to you, or influenced you are by me. And with my mom, she's very on the left side of her brain on the surface, and in the right side in private. And I think I've somewhat developed that same dichotomy, that same relationship between the dichotomy, being left brain on the outside analytical, XYZ, and being right on the inside. But the thing is, I stayed inside. I preferred to stay inside as she preferred to go out. So she got stronger with certain left-brained things. Her toolkit of left-brain things is really good. And she's very social, and she's very creative and very appreciative of art. So don't get it twisted. She's still strong with the right. But led with the left, it seemed, or displayed the left more obviously. And sometimes it can be critical, but critical in like kind of a Virgo sense where you just want to help the person. You're like, oh, you see somebody struggling with something or they're not taking the best foot forward. You want to push them in the right direction. And for me, I think that the reason why we do a lot of things is because of our emotions, right? Regardless if we realize it or not, we can rationalize our decisions later. We do a lot of things based off of feelings. And right now, at that point, when she was giving me her lessons, I wasn't in a good feeling space to receive those things. And I stayed in my right brain area as she wanted me to push me to the left side more and more and more and more. And that kind of built a relationship with the left in that situation. And that's my relationship with the left. And all respect to my family, dearest respect, I am my mom, I am my dad, I carry my family with my shoulders and give them and my ancestors all the respect. I just want to explain so I can uncover what's going on. I think in order to really be professional the way I want to be artistically, I need to use both sides of my brain at least a bit. I need to be complete. Bring all the faculties of things in my life, of entities in my mind together. There's no more holding back. Like, yeah, I like to be in my masculine, like most people or in this world. It's fun to be active and action oriented, even bravado sometimes, or but I need those faculties that's in the feminine, because those are essential to creating something. I need to get the faculties from my feminine side, bring that in. The faculties from my shadow self, the faculties from my right brain self, which, this is the dominant space. The faculties from my left brain side, the faculties I gave to my enemies, bring that back. What I want to see is a miracle in this life. I know that I will see a miracle in this life. And the main reason why is just that I just want something in the overworld to give me more validation. And this things give me validation not for my existence, but validation that, like, yeah, you can choose your purpose. And we'll help you with that. You took your baby steps, and now you know yourself more. You realize who you are now. Let's get this thing going. And it's just to me, I love the idea of seeing a miracle, because that would fill me up with so much inspiration. And in my life, I have seen miracles. A lot of miracles have been done to me, to those who know me. But this one is a new one. I've seen a lot of miracles happen externally, but I want it internally now. I want to bring everything together in my mind. Bring it together and not just have this empty space where the whole should be. The whole as in WHOLE. And stop being so fragmented. So yeah, the thing about these transcription projects is that as I start to get back into my right brain cell side, it's a bit like kind of blocky. It feels kind of blocked. I'm like thinking like, my music isn't this and this and this and this and that. This kind of sucks. Like start to compare myself to others, and that's just. I gotta be able to jump from seeing, like understanding a language and understanding an aesthetic and letting that go. That is the wildest thing to me is right now at this point. I know I'll get better at it because last night I did some transcriptions and I did some music and I was like, this sucks. And it came around and I made something kind of good. So developing that capacity to stay balanced is essential. To be able to get in the analytical mode and get in even the critical mode and let that go. That if I can master that, I'll have utter confidence in my professional abilities. And that's what I'm aspiring to right now. So, wrap it up. I'm cultivating all of myself, my physical self, my spiritual self, my heart-centered self, my past self, my future self, my present self, my feminine side, my masculine side, my left brain side, my right brain side, my good side, my bad side, my mother and my son that will be in the future or offspring in the future, the ancestors and descendants. Oh, just to see more of life. That's really what it is, just to unveil more of life. That's why I want to see a miracle. Like, something that's like, so undeniable. Something that's so like, well, that is tailor-made for me, through me, by me, but it's not just the faculties that I know of. These are some cosmic faculties I'm using right now, or that's being expressed through me. That's something that inspires me. To be led by the right spirits, or the right spirit. Okay, so that's enough. Yeah, that's enough for right now. I just gotta relax and honestly, after all this talk, it sounded hella intense, and I'm like, I gotta relax. I think this journey is really fun, but I'm just so zoomed in. I gotta zoom out a little bit. So thanks for listening, guys. If you guys want to support, please check out my Patreon I definitely appreciate that. It definitely will help me to achieve my dreams. Donate what you can, and you give me a coffee. It's great living abroad, and I come back to you guys with whatever get energy or insight that I can provide you guys. Yeah, so check that out. If you guys want my Discord, is Sajcast on Discord, and just type out my name that you see up here, Sajiste, and I'll accept a friend request. And if we get to know each other, I can invite you to my server. We can collab or do whatever. And yeah, man, thanks for reviewing this. It means the world to me, and I hope you got something from this.